We've been getting a lot of intense opinions lately on all sides of an issue that you might have heard of. And it's come to light because of almost unbelievable news developments in Virginia and New York and a few other places, maybe Illinois. And it's about this thing called abortion. You've probably heard of it, right? And for some reason, almost everybody on the Democratic progressive side said, it's a very simple issue. It's the mother's body, it's freedom, it's respect for women to be able to easily, safely, and legally get an abortion. This is very important not to get in the way of that right. And if this was a way to get some beneficial health protocol done, I would say, of course, don't make that illegal. In fact, way too many real health things that are natural and cheap and safe are basically criminalized and suppressed in this country. But abortion's not one of them. Why? Well, there's this little issue. See, the mother's body is the mother's body. It has to be respected. It's a sacred thing. It's beautiful. And I just have immense respect for and appreciation for women. They're a lot of what hold the world together. And a lot of times when men go crazy, if the women are healthy, they can bring them back on track. I totally appreciate that. But listen, this is kind of common sense, okay? But that's what we've been losing by design. When you have a child and it comes into your body to be fed by your blood and developed inside you, the idea is that's a sacred trust that you protect. And it's a baby right from the beginning. And I have some unusual perspective on that, which we'll get into at some point. I don't want to distract us at this time too much. But the cells don't start dividing unless somebody's there. And it's not the mother. Somebody else is there. The mother is not the one that you see having this separate little body. And just because it's not ready to breathe air, now with the 4G sonograms, which probably are pretty dangerous anyway, but they do show a better picture. And the baby, you know, just a few inches tall, can be moving around and, you know, very peaceful in its wonderful environment there, totally trusting the mother to take care of it. And you come in there and murder that baby. I'm not saying government should do anything to you. I'm just letting you know this is not part of your body. It's somebody else connected to your body inside your abdominal wall, inside the uterus. And it absolutely trusts and depends on you to guard its life with your own. That's the reality. It's not a fingernail. It's not like a lock of your hair. It's another person with their own long history. Starts way before conception. That's why they're born with a personality. And it's a long story as well. But no, there's a sacred responsibility to take care of that other person until they can finish forging their body. They are not their body. They are the person who's there, under whose direction the body is being detailed out and growing. And if you're the mother, it's your job to protect that with your life. And if you're the father, it's also your job to do the same thing. Not run away and be crazy somewhere. And if father does abandon everybody, then it's the mother's job. There's nobody else left. And for her to go to a doctor or somebody in an alley or somebody in a fancy hospital and say, you know, this is just too stressful for me. I don't know about the finances of it. And besides, I'm really busy with my career. And also my house is too small and stuff. So let's just kill this baby. And that's not usually what they say unless they're satanic openly. They say, oh, I'd like to have an abortion. It's a scientific medical procedure. No, it's murdering the baby. And it has nothing to do with party lines. It's not a political question at all. It's a question from the baby's point of view. It doesn't agree that it's your body. It has its own body. I have some memory of this, and it's real. And when you're in that position, you're very dependent on the person whose blood is connected through your umbilical cord, and you really do not want to be murdered. You know, you don't want to be stabbed or bathed in corrosive salt bath or something horrific like that. You're trusting your mother. And if you're the mother, that's your role. You just have to do it no matter what. And the father is supposed to have that kind of devotion as well. Both of them have a responsibility. But if one of them gives up the responsibility, the other one still has it. So do your best. Stop with the political nonsense. It's not women's rights. Come on. I mean, that's so obvious. But it's not, government is so corrupt. I'm not saying, well, government, go out and punish everybody who wants abortions. Government is in serious ethical trouble itself, to say the least. I'm just talking to you as an individual. If you're a mother or father of a baby who's just small so far and hasn't finished completing his or her body, that means you have to really take care of it, not kill it. And these satanic governors like Northam in Virginia, who try to make it sound really normal, that even if you don't get around to killing it before it comes out and breathes air, even after it's born now, which doesn't suddenly make it a person, it was a person before. But even people who don't know that can kind of recognize it's a person after it gets born. And Northam sits there and with women supporting and celebrating it, saying, I'm a doctor, so I can tell you exactly what would happen. It's really blown out of proportion. We would keep the infant comfortable. I think he means the fetus or the thing or something, but he made a mistake and said the infant. And then we'd have a discussion between the doctors or the providers and the woman. And government should not be involved. No, the woman should be smart enough to know you don't murder your child. But anyway, the doctors are deciding, and they do this play on words. They make believe the baby doesn't breathe until the mother decides to keep it. And the baby's over there in another room being kept comfortable, breathing, obviously. And Northam says, well, if they want to resuscitate the baby, if that's the mother's wish, then that's done and we keep it alive. And obviously, if not, then we break its neck or whatever we have to do. This is not normal, you guys. This is not good karma for the US or any other country that it happens in. And this is not good for you. Because the law of nature is that whatever we do intentionally to or for somebody else comes back to us multiplied, not as a punishment, but so that we get to learn our lesson why that was not a really good idea to do. And it works well. But I'm suggesting that it's a lot easier to learn the lesson first without having to go through the reactions of committing murder in various forms. So drop the partisanship. No, it doesn't make everything cool to say it's progressive. If it's clearly false, it just makes it stupid. And it doesn't, it's not just for progressives, for anybody. If you're a Republican and don't understand, if you're just against abortion because your party says so, you don't understand it either. The parties are irrelevant. They're a distraction. Trying to look good for all your other fellow party members is just a total distraction. It's just between you and God and the baby. And the baby is the baby's body and you are your body. And you're two people, okay? You're supposed to respect and love each other, which usually doesn't include murder, okay? Just wanted you to think about that. And it's part of the larger issue of we're looking for people in Congress and in state legislatures who are courageous enough to think outside the box and say, whoa, all these main issues, it's all common ground. Hey, we're all humans. We don't have to keep hating and fighting each other about this stuff. It's either true or not. And let's help each other to find out what's true and then support that and be willing to learn more and correct ourselves when we need to. That gets rid of almost all the hatred, almost all the fighting, violence that's a real waste of our energy. So that's the message. If you want to talk about it more on a much deeper level, planetaryhealingclub.com. If you haven't done it yet, get on our mailing list at lostartsradio.com in case we might get banned at some point, even though I make sure never to mention anything controversial, as you know. But just in case, there's a lot of sites disappearing and channels disappearing and stuff. So stay in touch with us, get on the mailing list. LostArtsRadio.com, and watch our videos also at Brighteon.com, where the mic is promised it's not going to be censored. All right, nice to see you again. Talk to you soon.